Hi Capricorn, and welcome to your prediction reading. This reading is intended for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. We're asking Spirit, what are your next blessings in love, with money, and in your lifestyle? I have more information about this reading in the description below, including definitions of those three key terms. To open your reading, I am going to tune into your energy and set my intentions. I highly recommend you do the same. Set your intentions and set signs of confirmation as well that you may need to see or hear in order to claim this reading. Spirit, please tune me into Capricorn's energy. Please help me offer Capricorn the most clear, honest messages for their reading. Okay, so Spirit, what are Capricorn's next blessings in love? What are Capricorn's next blessings in love? We have Aquarius reversed. What are their next blessings in their money? Okay, so when it comes to money, we're seeing waning gibbous reversed. And what are their next blessings in their lifestyle? What are their next blessings, Spirit? Okay, we're going to take the flipped card. There are a lot of cards like peeking out, but we'll take the flipped card. All right. How does that look? I just want to make it a bit more centered. There we go. So looking at the back of the deck, we have the Moon card. So for all the Capricorn placements that I'm reading for, I feel called to say welcome. You're in a safe space. This is a blessings reading. Don't panic. It feels like your next blessings have a lot to do with subconscious or internalized feelings, whether these include fears, fantasies, daydreams. There's this feeling of it being a side of you that you don't externalize, you don't communicate freely, you don't share freely, whether that's based off choice or environment. There's this feeling of you having this rich inner world that will get to be externalized through physical rewards. Now, I don't want you to panic. You may not need to tell people that this is what you've been hoping, wishing, and dreaming for. You can simply watch it unfold and feel shocked and seen that this is actually happening for you, because there's a lot that you've been either working on behind the scenes or that you've been wishing and hoping for by yourself that you haven't shared publicly, or at least with a lot of the people in your life. So the Moon is saying that these blessings will feel very personal. They'll feel very, I want to say emotionally triggering, only because you'll be like, what? How is this happening? I didn't even tell anybody. And then you get to choose. It's your discretion with the Moon to decide, well, who do I share this with? You know, how much do I tell people about this blessing? So there's something very personal, which has an emotional pull to it with each of these blessings. And there's this big word, discretion. It's not a big word, but it has a big meaning to you when it comes to these blessings. So with your love life, Aquarius reversed. First of all, Aquarius is kind of like your sibling because you share that Saturn energy. It'd be like if you had the same father, a different mother. Aquarius's other parent is Uranus. So Aquarius has this duality where they can bounce between Saturn and Uranus, both very slow moving planets, but obviously Saturn's a lot crueler. So you feel familiar with Uranus's and Aquarius's energy, but there's something there that's also desired, and that's the freedom to rebel that Aquarius has. When it comes to your love life, your next blessing has to do with you being able to rebel or enjoy your love life on your terms. And that does feel very different to someone with strong Capricorn placements. It also feels like something that you've internalized, that you haven't fully shared, at least not to this extent. Your love life's blessings involve you being able to be yourself, being able to do the things you want to do, being able to enjoy your freedom or your interests or your opinions without having to worry about what it means to other people, without having to worry about being strict, structured, and rigid, or a role model in some cases. Now, in love, this does have you feeling like a bit of a black sheep, but it feels like a blessing. I'm not sure why. Maybe that's a reflection of some of the pressure you've been under, but this is a personal wish coming true. And it feels like the chance to reconnect with your own identity, with your own free will, and just being able to feel like a free agent for some reason. So it's very desired. And there are some guilty feelings around this, but there's also an awareness of how this is something that you were wanting and seeking. So this will open up a lot of questions, ideas, and conversations if you want to have them. So there's a feeling here of that kind of freedom helping you see your love life differently and being able to put a dynamic sort of twist on maybe some of your needs, your expectations, and the ways in which you see your lover, if you have one, or the people who you could be dealing with in the future in love. This time alone is needed in order to get the right perspective of self, to know how you show up and how you can show up for other people. So it does feel like a blessing. At the time, it may feel like you're just isolating yourself, or you're doing your own thing, or you're just being forced to be a black sheep. But it also just feels like a chance to unmask, to not have to worry about other people, and to just focus on yourself. So that's your blessing in love. And when it comes to money, waning gibbous is interesting. It makes me think that there's a chance here to do something again or to redo it, because waning gibbous implies something coming to an end and starting to show signs of ending. And with it reversed, it feels like, well, no, actually, our heart's still in it. We're still emotionally invested. We don't want to give up yet. We want to try again. Let's try again. Let's see if we can do it better this time. Let's see if we can actually finish that goal this time. Let's see if we can actually get that project done. Let's see if when it comes to our money, we can actually achieve this goal, or we can actually fulfill this commitment, or we can finally tick that off and, get it done. So you could be prioritizing a financial commitment that you've made in order to not just get back on track, but actually achieve it, whether it's paying out a loan, getting some sort of financial goal or target met, or even just within the workplace, making sure that you're fulfilling your duties so that you're able to meet your career or workplace goals and targets. This is an internalized desire. On the surface, you may not have told anybody how important this is to you, but below the surface, this is what your heart has been wanting, and this is what your ego has been nudging you to do. Your ego has been telling you, you won't feel right unless you try again, unless you try harder, unless you push a little bit more. Don't give up yet. So it's a blessing for your money because it involves your money, but it's also gratifying towards your alter ego, your subconscious, and your internalized feelings. Now, when it comes to lifestyle over here, the number 7 is a card of progress, and it's also the chance in your journey to be able to consider how far you've come, what's been working, what's been challenging, and what can you do in order to readjust the progress you're making. Is what you're doing enough to gain you the success you want, or are there some sort of changes or adjustments you should make in order to get more of the balanced outcome? For example, this is when you decide, am I working too hard for what I'm receiving? Should I alter my effort so that I'm working smarter, not harder? Should I ask for help so that I am delegating? Should I be more honest about some of the challenges that I'm facing? Or should I just keep pushing for a little bit and then reassess a little bit later? Now, in your lifestyle, this feels like the kind of progress that is very personal. And these two numbers together, this number and this card together, doesn't tell us much, which makes me think that you're not telling a lot of people a lot about your health goals, about your, so for example, if you're trying to lower your blood pressure, I feel like you wouldn't have told anybody that. If you're trying to work on your mental health, I feel like you haven't told anybody that. And if you're trying to lose a little bit of weight, I feel like you're not telling people that, but you're going to start to see progress. Whatever these personal goals are that are impacting your lifestyle, you're not sharing it with your family and friends, maybe just 1 or 2 people at the most. Sorry, I'm just wiping my nose. But you're mostly keeping it to yourself. You're mostly saying, I see progress being made, and that's all that matters. Now, your lifestyle includes your routine, your free time, and your home life. So you are noticing things are progressing based on an internalized wish, hope, and desire. Things that you thought were going to either create more challenge, or changes that you thought were never going to settle, or adjustments that you thought were never going to become normal, are starting to feel more normal, more balanced, more settled. So I do think that your lifestyle is just filled with you trying to decide how much more effort to put into these areas of your life, including your personal relationships. If you've had a family connection that was struggling, if you've had a friendship that was struggling, you get to choose how much more effort do I put into that? How much more energy do I give to that based off of how you feel? It's a blessing because it's personal. You're not telling these people that you're keeping tabs. You're just judging and assessing and then giving or withholding. So it's very interesting because that is very similar to your love life, really. We're seeing it play out in your lifestyle with your platonic connections as well. So discretion is the key term for you. It's a big, important part of your blessings process because it involves you feeling like you have control and like you get to decide how much information to share with the people around you about how important these things are to you, these personal goals, these relationship goals, and these financial goals. Everything in your reading is centered around goals. You seem to be very motivated towards achieving and just gaining results at this point in your journey. So I wish you all the best, Capricorn. Thank you so much for your time, your energy, and your support. I hope that was a helpful predictions reading. It was very short. Until we meet again, I wish you peace, prosperity, abundance, happiness, health, wealth, success, and joy on your journey ahead. Bye.